Hello, my lovely little coffee beans. My name is Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about my February TBR. In the month of February, I have very ambitious reading plans, and I don't know if I'll be able to meet all of the expectations I've set for myself. Not all of the books on this TBR are romances, but the majority of them are. Jumping straight into book clubs, the first book club pick that I want to talk about is the classic Cliterature book club pick for this month, and this month it was Mo's pick, and she chose The Ritual by Chantal Tessier, and this is a thick book, okay? So I think we're gonna have 2, maybe 3 live reading sprint sessions for this book because I think it's over 500 pages or just at 500 pages. All I know about this one is it is a dark college romance, but with a main character with a name like Riot. You know it's gonna be a wild time, a riot, if you will. Then the next book club pick that I want to talk about is the Sugar and Spice book club pick for this month, and we are going to be reading An Optimist's Guide to Heartbreak by Jennifer Hartman. This is a childhood friends to lovers story, and apparently it's very emotional. I think there's letters in the book as well, and I've never read a Jennifer Hartman before, so I'm excited to start my journey off with this one. And then the next book club I want to talk about is the Fanro book club, which is run by Sahar. And as you may know, if you watched my January TBR, I am one of the co-hosts for the Bargainer series read along. And this month we are moving right along and we're reading the second book in the series, which is A Strange Hymn. And I'm super excited to read this. I, spoiler alert, really enjoyed the first one. Our live show for the first book, Rhapsodic, is going to be on the 6th of this month on Sahar's channel at 8 p.m. EST. So hopefully you can join us for that. Live show for this one is TBD, but it'll probably be in March. And I think that does it for book clubs. But next up, I want to talk about a couple of readathons that I will be participating in this month. It seems to me as though all of my friends decided to host readathons this month. And as much as I would love to be able to participate in all of them, I just simply do not have the time. So I'm committing to 2, and even then, I'm loosely committing. I'm not completing every single prompt for either of these readathons, but I still wanted to participate. The first readathon I'm participating in this month is the Black Romanticathon, which is run by my friends Deja and Mayana, and they have this adorable graphic I will pop up on the screen. It's a bingo board based readathon. I'm committing to 1 single bingo for this board. So the first prompt I want to complete is the New to You author, and for this I'm going to be reading Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I've heard from a lot of people that this isn't really a romance, but it's still categorized as a romance, so I'm just gonna read it. I've been wanting to read it, and Darian kindly got this for me for my birthday last year, and I still haven't read it, which is kind of embarrassing. Apparently this is very heavy on depictions of domestic abuse, so if that's something that's a trigger for you, definitely skip this one if need be, but I am super excited for this one, and it's a basketball romance, so I love sports romances. And then the next prompt that I would like to complete on this bingo board is the YA romance prompt, and for this I'm going to be reading Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Joffney, and this one, all I know about it is that obviously it's YA and that it is also pitched to fans of the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy, which is a trilogy I really liked, so I think I'm gonna like this one as well. And then the last prompt I'm going to be doing for this readathon is the Includes Treats prompt, and for this I'm going to be reading Fake It Till You Bake It by Jamie Wesley. And in this book we are following our 2 main characters, one of which is a professional football player and the other is the owner of a cupcake bakery. So needless to say, there's going to be some baking in there, and it involves fake dating. And then the next readathon that I will be participating in this month is Rom-Comathon, which is run by my friends Michelle, Bree, and Aoife, and I'll pop the graphic up right here. And for this readathon, I'm kind of just cherry picking the prompts that I want to complete based on the books that I want to read. So the first prompt I want to complete is the Second Chance prompt, and for this I'm going to be reading the group book for this readathon, Do I Know You, by Emily Wibberley and and Austin Siegman Broca. It follows a married couple who goes on this 5-year anniversary trip, and someone mistakes them for strangers and they just go along with it. So they just pretend to not know each other and try to fall back in love. So it sounds really cute and I'm really excited to get to it. Another prompt that I want to complete for this readathon is the features a wedding prompt, and for this I'm going to be reading The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. I've had this book on my Apple Books app for a couple of years now, I think, so I think it's time we get to it. And this is enemies to lovers. Our main character has to collaborate with her ex-fiance's brother on a project, and then they fall in love, obviously. And then the last prompt that I'll be completing for that readathon is the hate to love prompt. For that, I'm going to be reading Restore Me by J.L. Seegers, and I'm super excited for this book. I meant to read it last year. Famous last words, right? This is about a woman whose husband has died, and there's a romance between her and her late husband's best friend. So it's gonna get juicy, but apparently he hates her. But like, does he? No, he does not. But those are the 3 prompts I am looking to complete for Rom-Comathon. If you can double up, then I'll be completing more anyway. And then this month's round of the KU 24-hour readathon will be taking place on the 25th, which is the last Saturday of the month. So from midnight to midnight, aka just all day Saturday. If you want to join us for that, you are welcome to. The sprints will be Saturday morning. I know some people were confused last month and thought that they were at night, but it'll be sometime in the morning on Amanda's channel on Saturday. So keep an eye out for that. And then, speaking of 24-hour readathons, I have an exciting announcement, okay? So this month, Lexi from Books with Lexi and I are going to be hosting a fully live 24-hour readathon. You heard that right. We are going to be fully live for 24 hours. We are going to be reading the entirety of the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey. This is gonna be done in 24 hours. I think it's 5 books. Yeah, books 1 through 5 in this bind up. I'm super excited to finally read this series. I have read the first book, but I will be rereading it during the 24 hours, but I'm excited to finally finish the whole series, and I'm excited to read them along with her and all of you if you want to participate. The 24-hour readathon for this series will be happening on the 11th, which is the second Saturday of the month. And it'll be running from 7 a.m. on Saturday to 7 a.m. on Sunday the 12th. So if you want to join us, feel free. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to have some guests probably, and we're going to be up for the full 24 hours reading this series. I've done plenty of 24-hour readathons, but I've never done one fully live. So I'm excited but nervous. And then speaking of series, another series that I'm going to be reading the entirety of this month, not in 24 hours, because that would be impossible, but I'm going to be reading the entirety of the Zodiac Academy series this month. And I'm nervous. I know these are only the first 3 books, but the 4th one is on its way to me now, and I think depending on my enjoyment of the first 4 will determine if I'm gonna buy the other 3. I don't want to just buy all 7 and then hate the first book, you know? That's not a very smart decision, but it's probably not even a smart decision to buy the first 4 without reading the first one first. I'm going to be reading the first one along with Michelle from Michelle's Library. We are buddy reading this one, but as far as the other ones go, I'm kind of on my own, and I do have a vlog planned where I'm planning on reading the entire Zodiac Academy series, full spoilers. So I hope you're excited for that. And if I'm being honest, all I know about this series is that it has bullying, romance, fae, and elemental magic. All the things that scare me but also excite me. They're backwards. That's gonna be annoying. There you go. Okay, and then there are a couple of series that I would like to finish this month. So one of them is The Legacy by Elle Kennedy, which is the last book in the Off-Campus series, which technically you don't even have to read this. It's not really a part of the series, but I own it and I do want to read it. And I might reread the other books before getting to this one, just so I'm not confused about anything. I don't know. But I already have a lot on my plate, so who knows if that's gonna happen. It's basically just a where are they now new, including all of the characters from the previous books. And then a series I really want to get caught up with this month is the Bergman Brothers series. I know it's not over yet, but the last book I have to complete to have read all the books that are out so far is Everything for You, and this one we're following Oliver Bergman and his romance with Gavin, and this is enemies to lovers, age gap, soccer romance. So needless to say, I'm excited about it. And then I would also really like to get to Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Leese. Chloe Leese has me by the neck, so I'm gonna read it regardless. And then moving into non-romances, I really would like to get to Spare by Prince Harry this month. Embarrassing, right? Embarrassing that I didn't read this last month. I was going to read this on release day, and I pre-ordered it and everything. I even pre-ordered the audiobook because I wanted to follow along while reading it physically. And then this didn't arrive on release day, so I just haven't read it yet. I don't know, but yeah, so this is happening this month. It must. And I know everyone else has already read it and they already have thoughts on it, but I want to have my own thoughts. Please and thank you. Another book that I want to read this month is The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. I know what you're thinking. Maybe I don't. But if you know, you know. I have DNF'd this book 3 times. I'm just gonna say the 4th time is the charm, okay? I know the saying goes, the 3rd time's the charm. I'm hoping the 4th time is the charm. Honestly, it's kind of embarrassing that I haven't already unhauled this, having DNF'd it 3 times. Like, why do I still own it? And if you've been living under a rock, the movie adaptation, Knock at the Cabin, comes out on the 3rd of this month. So I already bought my ticket for that. I want to read this and actually finish it this time before going to see the movie, because Paul Tremblay himself said that even if you've read the book, you're going to be surprised by the movie. I don't know what that means, but I want to find out. And then a new release that is coming out on the 7th is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. And all I know about this is that it involves a vampiric cult. So sign me up for that immediately. Oh, wait, and I forgot another romance that I want to read. Oops. Sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna pop it in right here, I guess. Another book I want to read this month is Cupid's Peak by Lee Jacot. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but if I'm not, I apologize. This is another novella in the Holly Knight series. Amanda and I read another book in this series, Hollow's Grove, in October, and Lee can write some smut. So I'm probably going to read this on Valentine's Day. There's a bird absolutely squawking in the background. I hope you can't really hear him. But our main character gets set up on a blind date with her biggest crush in the NHL. Dream come true, right? All right, and then the next book that I want to read this month is Foe by Ian Reid. I love Ian Reid. I am an Ian Reid stan. In my eyes, he can do no wrong. I mean, I've only read 2 of his books. I don't know how many books he has out, but this is the only book that I know of his that I haven't read. And I've given his other books 5 stars, so I hope I love this one just as much. No pressure or anything. But I've heard this one is more sci-fi leaning, so that makes me a little nervous. Not that I hate sci-fi, I just don't know if I love or hate sci-fi yet. I'm new to the genre, but this one is a, quote, haunting philosophical puzzle of a novel. Need I say more? And then the last book that I want to read in the month of February is Penance by Kane Minato. And all I know about this is that it involves childhood trauma and a murder and revenge. Love it. And that does it for my February TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know a few books that you're going to be reading this month down in the comments below. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next one.